Hello, creeps and pervs. Well, we're going to keep this really short, mainly because what we're discussing right now does not warrant a really long video. So, a few months back, I heard the craziest shit ever. That Full House was coming back. That Netflix had picked it up. It was going to give us new episodes of Full House. Yes, Full House. You know, little show back in the 80s with Bob Saget, Dave Coulier, John Stamos, and those twins. And I thought it was a joke. I really did. I was like, yeah. I thought it was a very funny joke. In fact, I laughed so hard I pooped myself. A little bit of poop came out. I laughed so hard. But it wasn't a joke, creeps and pervs. This is real. This is real. They really did bring back Full House. I know, right? It really did do it. So, of course, I am an 80s child. I was born in the 80s. I lived in the 80s. I grew up in the 80s. I remember watching TGIF on Friday nights. And Full House was one of their big shows, ran forever. And so, yes, I'm sorry to admit, but back in the 80s, I watched Full House every Friday night. I've probably seen every episode of the original series. Every freaking episode. I loved it. Me and my mom would get some popcorn and we'd just watch it. And it's kind of creepy when you think about it. Anyway, getting off topic. So there is no way when I find out about this that I can't check it out. At least watch the first episode just to see what the hell. And creeps and pervs, I have to report that I just finished watching the very first episode of Fuller House, which is DJ's married name. She got married to someone named Fuller, who has died, and so now she's got to raise her boys. And Danny's moving off to LA, and Joey's living in Vegas, and Jesse's in LA, and so they're all abandoning her. And she's got these two boys, and her husband's died, and his name was Fuller. So there's our title of the show, Fuller House. Ha 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 ha! Way to go, marketing team. Way to make the title itself as cheesy as the show I remember back in the 80s. I mean, come on, that is so cheesy. But it gets worse, creeps and pervs. So we start the episode, and they have the laugh track. My God, the laugh track. We start off with Danny, Bob Saget, all eating some toast. And it's all, you're not gonna, I don't remember exactly what he says. This show's so cheesy, but he's talking to the baby. It's just, you're not going to tell on Grandpa for dropping this toast and eating it or something like that. And then there's the laugh track. Ha, 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 ha. And then Uncle Jesse comes downstairs and it's like, woo, woo. And then Joey comes up from the basement. It's like, yeah. And it's just that total 80s laugh track crap. Oh, I hated it back then. And I really kind of found it amusing. Now, I mean, it really was. It really took me back. And as much as I'd like to bash this show, because I really like to bash this show, and Creepy, Rapey, Pervy Face is not about family entertainment. I am very against wholesome family entertainment. It just takes me back to when I was a kid. And I hate to say it, but I actually enjoyed this episode. This first episode. Yet I really liked the Michelle joke about the Olsen twins and why they're not in it. I'm not going to spoil that joke. If you want to see that joke, you go watch Fuller House on Netflix. Now, if you were not a fan of the show, if you didn't grow up watching the show, and you're, in your early 20s like I am, then you probably won't want to check this show out. But if you did grow up watching it every Friday night on TGIF and have fond memories of the show, there might actually be something there for you to watch. At least the first episode. I would recommend checking out the first episode if you were a Full House fan back in the day. Now, will this show be able to keep going? Because in the first episode, we get everybody back. Everybody from the original is in it, but that ends at the end of this episode. They all move on, and we're left with DJ, Stephanie, and a Gibbler. Okay, let me repeat that. DJ, Stephanie, and a Gibbler. And a Gibbler child. And that's how the show's going to progress. Like Bob Saget, Dave Coulier, John Stamos, they're gone. So can the show hold up on its own to finishing this first season? And at the end of this season, I will let you know if the show holds up. So you can just wait till then, and if you don't want to waste your time. But like I said, if you did like the show back in the 80s, I would say that this first episode was very enjoyable. It's kind of like a reunion episode, and it really does take you back. Will the show hold up? We'll find out at the end. I'll do another video, and I'll let you know. Another little show that came back was the X-Files. The X-Files came back and has done their 10th season, I think, which I am almost done with. I have 2 episodes to go, and I've just kind of been dragging my feet on it. But once I finish those 2 episodes, then I will give you a review on the X-Files season 10 and what I thought of that. I know, you're all just so pumped for that one. But I'm going to wrap it up. Like I said, this doesn't really require much time, creeps and pervs. So if you liked it back in the 80s, go watch that first episode. If you didn't like it back in the 80s, you're really not going to like it now. And, well, until later, keep it creepy.